Good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Today is Thursday, April 16th. How's it going? Today is day 16 of the 30 days of vanilla JavaScript, where I go live every single day in the month of April to practice JavaScript. The one thing that I am the most wildly insecure about, although I have to say we're 2 weeks in, we officially crossed the halfway point at the end of yesterday. And I've never felt more confident or excited about JavaScript. I mean, the last 2 weeks has been absolutely transformational. If I spend too much time about it, it's going to start getting extremely dramatic and existential. So I'll leave it at that. Best thing I've ever done. Very, very happy with this decision. So that being said, let's say hello to a few of our friends in the chat. Malik Robinson is here. Go Elmo. He is the mod. He's here every day. He set a goal to be here every day, and I'm so grateful for that. He does an awesome job keeping an eye on all of us, not just you, but me too. So we're very grateful for Malik Robinson. And Roha Chan is also here. Hello. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. By the way, if you're new here, would you do me a favor? Would you like this video? Well, you don't have to be new here to like the video, do you? How about this? If you haven't already, would you be so kind as to like this video? It helps the algorithm, helps get this pushed out to more people who might be interested in this type of content. You know, front-end development, all vanilla, the stuff the browser does natively. Also, if you are new here, would you mind subscribing? I mean, I would love to have you. If I'm not doing a 30-day sprint, I'm here 4 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, generally at about 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I started a half an hour early today, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm pretty excited about it. So there's that. Yeah, subscribe. The channel's growing. We're up to 2,400 subscribers. It took me a long time to get here. 20 months, 20 months, almost 2 years. ChatGPT tells me that I'm actually ahead of the game. So ChatGPT tells me that compared to other channels, especially dev niche related content, I'm doing well. Most channels never get to 500 subscribers, let alone 1,000. We just got monetized this month. I just got monetized this month. And ChatGPT also assures me that I am in the top 5% of dev and top 10% of all YouTube channels to actually get past 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. So I'm very proud of that. And I want the channel to keep growing. I want to earn a living from YouTube, not just YouTube, but from YouTube. I want to keep providing content like this because I do think that it is genuinely useful and educational, and also I just effing love doing it. So there's that. And I think, really stepping up my JavaScript game is definitely going to help. I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so there's that. Okay, so here's the thing that I'm doing today that I actually want to tell you about. So I had an idea. So this is what the JavaScript has done for me. I had an idea for an app, a web app. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to give you too much detail because I want to wait and get the domain name first, and then I'll give you more detail about the app. I'll just say this. It's a counting app. And I got the idea. I've had the idea to do it for a couple of years, and I sort of shuffled it away, filed it away in the back of my mind. And then, of course, over the last 2 weeks, with everything that I've learned doing these JavaScript challenges, I was like, oh, I think I know how to do this thing now, this idea that I've had. So I started working on it, and then I was brainstorming domain names because I love a good branded domain name. And the name that I wanted was taken, but the hyphenated version was available. And I thought, well, I want to look into the one that I actually want. I'm fine going with the hyphenated version, but let me look into the one that I actually want a little further. So if you don't know this, when a domain name expires, so let's say you buy a domain name and you just simply don't renew it, you just kind of let it go away. It's not immediately available the day it expires. It goes through this transition period. It goes through several phases, right? And I looked into it and I found out that the domain name that I wanted was in the final pending deletion phase. I actually looked last week and it was 5 days. It had 5 days left. Today at 12:40 p.m. Central Standard my time. So at 12:40 this afternoon, that domain name is supposed to be available again. So that's why I decided to start early today, because I need to make sure that I'm done no later than 12:30 today so I can get that domain name. Now, I've had some conversations with ChatGPT. ChatGPT tells me that domain brokers are kind of on the lookout for branded keyword rich domains, and they tend to snap them up. So I'm going to have to move quickly. However, ChatGPT also tells me that the name I want, even though it's keyword rich for my niche, the thing that I want to do, it may fly under the radar. It may be a little too niche for a domain broker to snap it up, but there's no way to know for sure. I don't know if there's anybody else thinking about this domain name, keeping an eye on it. I have no idea. So at 12:40 this afternoon, I'm going to try to get it. If I can't get it, I'm just going to go with the hyphenated version, because there is a thing called domain backordering. So I looked at a couple domain backordering services where you can put in a bid and try to get it, but there's no guarantee even that way. And it's very expensive. It's like, I saw a couple that were like $60, $70. I saw some that were like $200. And even then, you pay to put your name on a list and hopefully they go in and get it for you. And I was like, there's no guarantee. That's expensive. I could technically afford that, but I don't want to spend money on that if there's no guarantee. If I was to do something like that, I would want to see if I was in line. Like if there were other people ahead of me also looking for the same domain. So I just decided not to go that route and to just organically see if I could snap it up at 12:40 this afternoon. And again, like I said, if I don't get it, I'm not going to spend a lot of time crying over it. I'm just going to go by the hyphenated version and finish building my web app and move on with my life. So there we go. So that's the story. That's what I'm doing this afternoon. And that's why I decided to start a little early today. And Malik says, I got access to all the companies. Ooh, oh boy. An intern who got access to all the companies' GitHub yesterday and completed my task. I just have to do the pull request now. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let us know how it goes. I wonder I'm curious to know what the code review and the pull request process looks like. Like what is their process or their system that they have in place for that? So, and congratulations, by the way. That means that you have become trusted and credible. So that's a good sign when an organization gives you access to the GitHub repo, right? Okay, should we get started? I think we should. So thanks for listening to my little domain story. I'm pretty excited about it. So today we are working on a sortable table. And there's things down here that I've done before. So we've done array from. We know how to deal with that. Sort, I actually have used sort and locale compare. I have used those two things before. And of course, text content and append. And I meant to do some table markup ahead of time and I forgot. So I think we'll ask ChatGPT for some table, like some kitchen sink table markup, and we'll go ahead and get it working and then we'll do the styling last. Okay, so build a sortable table where clicking a column header reorders the rows by that column and toggles between ascending and descending order. So the JavaScript focus is selecting table rows. So build a sortable table where clicking a column header reorders the rows by that column. Okay, so selecting table rows, converting, wait a second, reorders rows by that column. A row is horizontal and a column is vertical. So if you're clicking a column, you're resorting the column. Well, you're resorting. Okay. Converting rows into an array, reading cell values, comparing strings and numbers, sorting arrays, toggling state for ascending and descending order, appending reordered rows back into the table body. I'm gonna have to ask for, so if I was a developer at an organization, there's a loud truck outside. Okay, if I was a developer at an organization and I got this task, I would ask for clarity on the verbiage here, because usually what happens is that two different people mean the same thing, they're just using different words. So we're going to ask for clarity on this. And I already need table markup anyways, so we might as well just start a conversation with ChatGPT. Okay, comparing strings and numbers, sorting arrays, toggling state for ascending and descending order, appending reordered rows back into the table body. And so toggling state for ascending and descending order, to me, that is organizing alphabetically, ascending and descending. So that's the approach that I'm going to take, and I think that's what they mean, even though they didn't say alphabetical. I mean, it's words, so what else would it be, right? Nice extras. Add a visual indicator for active sort direction. I think we can do that. Support both text and numeric columns. Okay. Keep one default sorted column on page load. Okay. Use buttons inside the table head elements for better accessibility. Okay. Update ARIA sort on the active header, reset other headers when a new column is sorted, and keep the sort logic reusable so you can apply it to other tables later. Okay, thank God there's nothing here that says local storage, because I would draw the line at that. So let's do this. I'm going to zoom out a little. I'm going to take a screenshot. And we're going to ask for a little bit of clarity. Okay. I need some help with these requirements. Go back. I mean, I think I'm overthinking this, because I've done this before. I did this before in Vue, and it definitely wasn't something that I reused logic from a different sorting app, and I put it into a new app with sorted tables. So I have done this before, but this is my first time doing it from scratch. And would you be shocked to find out that I'm overthinking this already? I feel like we're using columns and rows too loosely. Loosely. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Follow up. Yeah, the wording is a little slut. For a sortable table, the precise behavior is clicking a column header sorts the body rows based on the values in the cells under that column. So the parts, because the, okay. So the parts are, columns are the vertical categories, like name, age, price. Rows are the horizontal records in the table body. Column header usually means the TH in the T head. Reorders the rows by that column's means. Look at all the table row elements in the table head body. Inspect the cell at the same column index for each row. Sort those rows. So the requirement is really when a user clicks a header cell, sort all body rows using the values in that headers column. But aren't we sorting the column if we click the column header to sort? I get why it feels that way, but no, you're not actually sorting the column. You're using the column as the sorting key, but the thing being reordered is still the rows. Think about what physically changes in the DOM. The column stays exactly where it is. The cells don't move between columns. Entire rows move up and down. So if you click age, after sorting by age, you didn't rearrange the age column independently. You rearranged the rows using the age values to decide the order. The clean way to think about it, column equals the rule, rows equals the things being sorted. Why the wording matters, especially for your implementation. If you think sort the column, you might accidentally try to manipulate individual table data elements and move the cells around. But what you actually want is grab all table body rows, sort those TR table row elements, reappend them in new order. All right, don't be shocked if we're going to need more help today, but I'm going to give it a go. Okay. I'm going to give it a try. Can you please generate a healthy amount of table markup that is obviously accessible? Nice. So our THs are scoped. They put in buttons for us. And data columns, okay. Okay, caption gives context to screen readers. You can visually hide it. We are scoping the columns and the rows. Buttons inside the TH keep so keyboard accessible sorting. ARIA sort none, ready for you to toggle. Ascending, descending. Data column, easy column targeting, index based. Data value, clean numeric sorting without parsing the $sign or formatting. Okay, we have our CSS helper. One implementation hint, just enough. When you grab values, prefer data value if it exists, fallback for text content for strings. That keeps your sort logic clean without regex nonsense. If you want the next step, I can help you map this directly to your JavaScript structure without overwriting your approach. Okay, so wait a second. When you grab values, prefer data value if it exists, but fall back to text content for strings. Okay. So I'm guessing get the number with data value and get text content for words and strings. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. We actually have to put this in, don't we? All right, so here's our table. Well, let's do a little, let's just do a little loose styling, shall we? I think this does need some styling. And in order for it to be responsive, we're going to add data attributes for the responsive styles, but I'm not too worried about that right now. And honestly, we've done that before on this channel, but I do want to be thorough. But it's not my first priority. It's going to be my last priority. So let's call this sortable table. Oh, sortable. We'll do sortable table section. This is going to be screen reader only class. Oh, no one is here. Hello, welcome. I'm doing well, no one. How are you doing? You ready for sortable tables? There we go. Sortable table. I think normalize has some. Okay, so there's the user agent style sheet. I'm pretty sure that normalize no, I guess not. I'm trying to think what's the best way to add. All right, I'm gonna look at my GitHub because I've styled a bunch of tables, but it's been a while. Right here. How did I style this one? Oh, here I did it, right here on the TRs. So I only did the borders on the table. On the table rows. All right. Table. Border. Yeah, I'm just going to do border bottom. We'll do everything white, 1 pixel, solid. Okay, something's off here with this table. What's going on? Border collapse separate. Border collapse right? There we go. Something felt off about this right from the beginning. Okay, perfect. Now let's give our, okay. Whoa, am I going to spell table right today? Let's give this some padding. What about rem? And no one says not able to join streams recently. That's okay. You come when you can. Yes, I had to get an early start today. I don't know how to tell people that. So Nana Key is here. First of all, welcome. Thank you. We got an early start today because I have something I need to do and I need to make sure I get done. And I don't have a way to tell people that, so I just scheduled it at the normal time and I put a message in the, I did it like a community post. I put in a message, so sorry about that. Oh, I think we want to do, let's do this. Okay, there we go. And then let's make sure that I think we can do border, let's do border right. 1 pixel, solid, bar. Actually, and then let's, let's just center text align. Everything's center. Yeah, I think that looks okay. But let's, so the TH, so the TH, well, really we could just do all the THs. No, I just want to do, no, I want to do all, the first TH scoped column and all of the THs scoped row, I want aligned to the left. Table TH scope equals column. And this would be the first of type. First of type. And the table TH scope equals row. Text align left. Perfect. And then on the table, I want border top 1 pixel solid white, and I want border left 1 pixel solid white. There we go. And then th table th with the scope of column. We want the color to be white. Oh, actually they are buttons. So I think we could just do th button, and that's specific enough. There we go. And actually, let's do this. Let's just, so we know that they're a column, let's do a background color. White, and then let's make the color dark teal. And then let's make sure, probably maybe we want to put the padding. Well, clearly we can't put the, oh, it's the buttons, that's why. Well, I can just make, we can make this more specific. Oh, that should be the class. Hang on, we can do both. We can do both. Table th scope equals column. We'll make it, we'll just do the same thing there. Should be okay. There we go. And then let's make sure that we have I'll have to do this. Yeah, do you see how this goes sometimes? The rabbit hole of styles. So this would also be dark teal. Oh, doesn't, oh, I have to just do it on this. I mean, it's fine, but except the last of type still needs to be white, which is fine. So we need to do this. Only has to be the last of type. And then this would be border right 1 pixel solid. All right, there we go. For the love of the traveling Mary, there's our table. Okay. So now we have some basic styles for our table. Honestly, these are perfect styles for our table. Let's worry about, we need to add markup to make it responsive. I will use data attributes for that, but I'm not going to put those in now. I think it would also be nice if we had some arrows, and that's part of the nice to haves. I'm also not going to worry about that right now. I think the only thing I want to do is make sure that the TH's scoped row are not bold. That's the only thing that I want to do. Text align left, and then I think we can just say font weight 400. There we go. Okay. So now let's start writing a little bit of JavaScript. Yeah. So we need to, well, let's just start converting rows into an array. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit confused on what to do. This whole thing where I have to think in rows and not columns doesn't make sense to me. So function init sortable table, and root equals document query selector, and we want sortable table section. That will be our parent container. And if there's no root, then we return. Okay. Selecting table rows. So I feel like we also need to get our buttons into an array. So any th with a scope of column that has a button, we need to be able to loop through those first, right? So I'm gonna just make an array, and we'll call this we'll just call them buttons equals query document, or excuse me, root query selector all. And these are the th scope equals column sort button. Oh, I guess we can just call them sort button. Didn't see that class there. Sort button. Okay. And then I think we would for each through the buttons. So we'll just start with that. Buttons for each button. And then the button would have a click event, right? Add event listener, click. I feel like this is how pretty much everything seems to start. Okay, so what's the next thing that we need to do? I think we can probably get our array of rows first, right? Selecting table rows, converting rows into an array. So we can probably get our rows, which would equal the root query selector all. And then what are we targeting? So first we would want to target the table header scoped row. And then we would want to target so there's like two ways to target. There's more than one way to target, right? There's like 3 ways to target. There's a th with a scope row. So that would be like a table header row. And then there's a td with just text. So those would be the strings. And then there's a td with a data value. So those would be the numbers. So I'm supposed to get 3 different So here's the problem. Here's the problem when we say sorting by rows. When you click a header, it resorts the rows. But my mind makes it feel like you are resorting the rows, but I know that that's not right. Okay, so am I just supposed to target 3 types of rows? Okay, let's go back here. One implementation hint when you grab values. Okay. When I'm grabbing values, rows, it seems that I'm grabbing 3 types of rows, not just one row. Correct? Yeah, this is a good observation, but I tightened the wording a bit. Who gives a shit about the wording? So it doesn't send you down the wrong path. You're not grabbing 3 types of rows. You're grabbing one collection of rows. Table, body, TR. These are the only rows you sort. But what about the TH? Oh, because it's a header. Because it's a header. So when we sort, but why wouldn't you ever sort by product name? Wait a second. Oh my God, I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, I got it. I was looking at the wrong part of the table. Okay. Disregard. So we are looking for, here we are in the table body. Well, but yeah, we're just getting table rows. Oh my God, Angela. Yes. Yes, the answer is yes, I'm overthinking it. Table body, TR. So those are the arrays right there. Got it. Okay. I'm still confused, but I'm just going to roll with it. So we have our array of buttons. We have our array of rows. When we click on a heading, we sort the rows by that column. Okay, so when we click on a button, okay. Selecting table rows done. Converting rows into an array. Well, that's done, right? Oh. Okay. Converting rows into an array. Reading cell values, comparing strings and numbers. And then maybe rows for each row. then we can get, can't we say that row equals the row text content? Am I allowed to do that? And then console log the row. Nope. Can I do let row okay, so let, how about const row content? How about that? Oh, because we have to get the, got it, hang on. So this would be row this would be row query selector oh, so we want the, so first I need a th with a scope equal to row. Can I get that first? No. Oh. Scope is equal to row. Why are you doing that? Oh, because you're not in quotes. th scope equals row. Query selector all. Oh my God. Oh, because there's only one. th with the scope of row. I don't know how you guys watch this every day because I drive myself crazy. Scope equals row. It's a th with the scope of row. Row content, text content. There. Oh, for God's sakes, I haven't clicked an effing button yet. That's why. Okay. Let's just pull this out of here. Oh my God. Yeah, undefined. Okay. Okay. Somebody says that they're watching for the thought process. Okay, good. Listen, this wouldn't drive me crazy. Oh, sorry, let me get over to a better screen. This wouldn't drive me crazy if I wasn't streaming it, because I know that this is an important part of the process of learning, for me at least. Because these little struggle sessions are temporary. They don't actually last that long. They probably just last a couple of hours, but the learning lasts forever. I know this about myself. I know this about the learning process. I do still continue to get self-conscious doing it in a live stream, but I want I'm trying to get over that because I do think it's important to show people, especially new developers, that this is hard. It is complex. It takes time to learn for everybody. Like, I'm an experienced developer trying to get good at something that is still relatively new to me. Even though I've been tinkering with JavaScript and building things for years, I have not taken the time to really sit down and kind of thoroughly learn it. And I want to finally have that experience. But in order to get there, this is kind of how this is how it is. This is how it is. So, I actually think it's not query selector all. I just want to get this one thing. There we go. There we go. That's all I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. So now we are able to get these things. So my next question is this. Do we want to do this on click? Because I feel like, are we supposed to do this on click inside the click event? Probably we are supposed to do it inside the click event. I needed to do it here though. I'm going to do this here first just to make sure I'm getting everything that I need. And then we'll put this inside the click event because I have to make sure that I'm selecting these things correctly. Okay, so let's actually call this, let's name these in a way that's a little more semantic. Let's just call it the TH row because that's exactly what it is. So there's our TH row. What's the next thing that we need to get? The next thing we need to get is, I'm gonna move this down here so it's easier to see. The next thing we're gonna get is just the TD. And I think I want I'm going to get the TD that comes immediately after the TH, so the sibling, right? So we'll say const TD row equals row, query selector, and this is going to be the TH plus TD. So that's the sibling selector, right? And then let's console log the TD row text content. Make sure that we're getting all of those. So wait a second though, we're not getting the row, we're getting the column. Yeah, we need to get everything inside the row. I'm getting the columns. Osley says, I could write the JavaScript and the HTML. I could not write the CSS. I'm not watching this to find out how to sort a table in JavaScript. Fair. Fair. That slide in effect is eye-catching. I'm not sure which slide in effect. Okay. I'm not getting the row. I'm getting the columns. So this is wrong. So again, can't I just get const row, right, tr, we'll call it the tr row equals the row query selector. It's not query selector all, it's just everything in the row. So there's a TH, a TD, a T. I need to get everything in the row, not the column. Selecting table rows, converting rows into an array. There's a TH, a TD. I do think it's query selector all. How do you just get all the things? Do you just get everything? Do you just do like a wild card? Is it just like that? Get out of here. What? How did that work? That worked? Oh no, not quite. It's undefined, but it says 10 things. Oh, but they don't all have they technically have text content. Okay, so what should I use? Text content. Text content. Okay, so they'll, but also some have data values. Okay, so if I do this, that's the array. Let's see here. Yeah, isn't TH supposed to be a row? Yes. Yeah, TH is supposed to be used in just the first row of a table, not the first column. Well, it is. I mean, so are you just talking about like the semantic markup? So TH is used in the first row. And we also have our columns, TH column. It is supposed to be used in the columns, yes. T head, T row, and then TH column. TH with a scope of column. So these are all scoped as columns, and then these are all scoped as rows. So I have an array of rows, which is a TH, a TD, and three TDs, but how do I... Okay, what else do we have here on our list of things? Array from, sort. So I know what these things are, but I'm... Okay, so I know that these are wrong because these are getting an array of columns. So do I do array? Let's look at the array from. array from. Well, array from tr row text content. I don't know. Can I do this? No. No, it's the same thing. So I don't think that this matters. I have no idea how to make this into an array. I mean, I think it's already an array. Can I do wildcard text content? But it's not, I don't need the text content of everything. No, that doesn't work because this is a selector. I have no idea what to do. I think, but I'm getting a node list is an array. I mean, this is an array, right? It's probably really obvious. How else would you target the row? I mean, wildcards work as selectors. We know that. Do you, okay, it wouldn't even matter if I just got the text content because for the first two things I need the text content. For the last two things, I need the data. So maybe I'm supposed to target those things individually and then turn it into an array. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. So let's do this. Actually, just going to start over. Okay, so the first thing is it's the th column. Let's go back to that. Th column. Let's just get that thing, right? Row. Query selector. Yeah, and then we build the array out of the four things that we get, right? Query selector. We know that it's a th with a scope equal to row. That's the first thing. And then we're going to get just the td. That's the td row, which is also a row query selector. Whoops. So that would be just the td. But really it's the nth of type, right? So this would just be the nth of type 2, the second one. And then this would be the td data. And this would be row, query selector, all. And this would be a td with a data value. Oops. So this would be a td data value. That's it. That's the selector. And then maybe we do array Well, let's console log. Console log. And we'll do curly braces, because that's an easy way to see, right? Let's just make sure that we're getting everything that we want. Okay. Now we have our objects. And for this, I want the text content. Oh, I'm going to have to put this in. Can I do this? No, it doesn't like that. That's okay. We'll do this. I want to see the, hang on, we got to take out the curly braces. TH column text content. Show me that. Are we going in the right direction? But it's giving me the entire column. I just want the row. But it's giving me, oh God. Okay. But it doesn't let me do that. That's why I don't like the curly. I like the curly braces if I don't need to do anything else. Okay. Finally, now this is the array of rows. So what's the final thing? This isn't text content that we just need to figure. Okay. Finally. So this I actually don't want text content. I feel like I'm almost there. We want the data set data value. That's what we want. We want the data set data value for the last two. Okay. All right. So this is going to be data set data value. Wait. Data value. Data set. Isn't this how you do it? Oh, no, it's just value. That's why, right? Yeah, it's just value. Hang on. I forgot the syntax for this. Hang on. Just show me how to Just show me how to do this again. Dataset property. Okay, I left a data in. We don't have to leave that in. Value. Data value. Data set value. Data dash value. Probably because this also needs to be a loop, I bet. How much you want to bet? Yeah, that's why. Okay, so honestly, the best way to deal with that, if I'm just going to build an array instead of doing another loop, is probably to just do like data value nth of type 3. I don't know, is this cheating to do it like this? Data value td data 1. Feels like cheating. Data 2. I already don't like this. Data set value. Data 2. TD data 1, TD data 2, data set value. Oh, for the love of the traveling Mary. Oh, this is probably 1 and 2. Oh, and this is probably text content. What's the problem? Oh, This is probably nth of type. I mean, this would just be the th plus the td. I think this would just be the th plus td. It's the sibling of the th. Should I just get everything in the node list and do another loop? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Because I did, yeah, let's, this is just starting to feel ridiculous. Okay. So we had the node list. So we got the rows. Clearly this is another thing to loop through, right? So I'm going to go back to this because the wildcard worked. So I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to call this the TR rows. TR row. Rows. TR rows. So sorry if this is driving you crazy. It's driving me crazy too. But that's how this works, right? Give me some good news. I want some good news this time. Okay. Because here's the thing. Node list. Okay, maybe I think I need to Google node list. I think I need to Google node list. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Query selector all. Okay, that's maybe why that didn't work. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the second loop worked. The second loop worked. Look at that. There they are. I know that I need to get... Okay. We're getting someplace. We're getting someplace. This is, if whatever we don't finish today, because we're an hour and 20 minutes in, whatever we don't finish today, we will absolutely pick this back up tomorrow. What is our tomorrow task? The tomorrow task is the image, lightbox, and gallery viewer. If this goes into a second day, I'm absolutely fine with that. And we'll just switch some things around. Yeah, we'll switch some things around because I need to do the thing that I need to do today, but also I need to, I want to do this right. I want to get it done right. And some things just take a little longer. We're getting there. Okay, so we needed 2 loops to get through and to get in. So now we are seeing, we're going straight across. Wireless mouse, accessories, $29.99, 120. Okay, so, but I only need the text content of the first 2 things. And then I need the data set value of the last 2 things. How do I do that? So I feel like I need to count. Or I feel like I need to check. So do I need to do something like Can I just do something like if well, first of all, can I do something like if tr data set value, why are you changing? Data set value. So if that exists, then console log tr data set value. Okay, that worked. So then I think I want to do, well, I'm going to do this last. So I'll do this first. If, wait a second. If there's no tr data set value, do that. Okay. So now we're getting the text content for the first two things and the data set data value for the last two things. Okay, so now we have to make this into an array. So can I just do I want to do array from the whole thing though. So this is like divided. Oh, so okay, so why do I think that in JavaScript, if the first condition is met, it doesn't stop. Oh, but it's a for each. So in JavaScript, does it go through the whole thing? So like, why do I think that in Java, or maybe I'm thinking of Python, but I think Java, not JavaScript, that once the first condition is met, it stops. But in JavaScript, it goes through the whole if-else statement, and it does every single thing based on those conditions. Am I thinking about that right? Because clearly we're getting, I don't have any other console logs here, do I? No, these are the only console logs that I have. So I have a console log, and it's doing both things. But I feel like in Java, it will stop after whatever condition is met, it stops. But in JavaScript, Osloy says, I have been resisting the urge to tell you it has been difficult. I am brave and courageous. You are brave and courageous. Remain brave. But I also want somebody to answer my question, but I'm also going to Google it. This is the perfect thing for ChatGPT. Okay. Just answer this question. In JavaScript, when I have an if-else if statement, does JavaScript meet the condition, meet every condition, meet every condition? I thought I learned in Java not JavaScript, that it will stop when the first condition is met and not continue checking. You remembered correctly. In JavaScript, if an if else chain behaves in JavaScript, chain behaves the ways, wait, in JavaScript, an if else chain behaves the same way as in Java. It stops at the first condition that evaluates to true and skips the rest. Example. It does not keep checking. When all conditions get checked, only if you use separate if statements. So then why did the console log all of these things? Is it because... Why didn't it stop here if this condition was met? Okay. All right. Why does the console print all of the table row data? Why isn't it stopping when the first if statement conditions are met? Because the if else if is only controlling what happens for one element at a time inside the inner loop. It is stopping correctly for each TR item. Oh, I'm not actually seeing my array, am I? It's just printing multiple times based on the number of loops. It is stopping correctly for each TR item. What it is not doing is stopping the for each. You have this flow. So what happens is loop through every table row. Inside each row, loop through every cell. For each cell, run the if else if. Log one value for that cell. Move to the next cell. Repeat until all cells are done. Move to the next row. So yes, JavaScript stops at the first true condition for that one cell, but then the loop keeps going to the next cell. That is why you see all the table data. The important distinction is if else if controls branching. For each controls iteration. Those are separate things. Also, in your code, those two conditions are basically if there is no data value, otherwise if there is a data value. So one of them will run for almost every cell. That means you are intentionally logging something for every cell in every row. The real reason it prints so much is not the if, it's this. That grabs every descendant element inside each row, not just the cells. So you are not just looping table cells cleanly, you are looping anything nested inside that row. For a sortable table, the cleaner target is usually the row's direct cells, not a wildcard. Your current code is basically saying for every row, find everything inside it, then print either the text or the data value for each thing. So the output is doing exactly what you asked. The short version, if else if is stopping correctly per element, the nested loops are why the console continues printing. The cleaner mental model is loops decide how many times, if else if decides which branch runs each time. Yeah, it gets run several times. So this is basically saying that the wildcard is just too broad. I think that's what this is saying. So how do I don't know how to narrow this. I need a hint. I don't know how to narrow. I don't know how to narrow the selectors without using the wildcard. There's a TH, TR, and a TD and two TDs with data value. I don't know how to select those cells and get them into an array. You don't need to fight the select. Yeah, okay, I know I'm a mess. Oh, children. Row.children? Was that on the MDN prep list? Row.children? Okay. Hold, please. I need a moment to collect myself. Okay. I'm fine. Okay. It's okay. It's all okay. Okay. So do we not need this? I mean, this is a character building exercise, isn't it? So I literally just say cells equals row dot children. That's all I have to do. It's not even a selector. Okay. Okay. So is this another? No, I have to build an array from that, I think, right? Okay, that'll give you the TH and the TDs in order, clean, no selector needed. Why this works better than query selector all. If you want an array, since children is an HTML collection, array from row children. Sounds good. Nice. So there's our array. Well, I mean, this is one way to learn, right? Okay. Then your value access becomes simple. I don't like that word. So this is another array. So now we loop through. We get the cells column index. All right. For each cell. And Osloy says, I don't know if this is like a question or a statement. A few times you have said, quote, I have to build an array from that. I'm not sure if you're asking me something or if you're giving me a hint that I am supposed to know how to, that my subconscious already knows how to do it. Okay. And so this is a way to write it so you get both. Please explain this. Please explain this. That line is just a compact way of saying if this cell has data value, use it. Otherwise, use the visible text. So it's not like an if else. That's the ternary operator. Oh, so it's okay. I have trouble with the one line conditions because I just think they're hard to read. They don't make sense to me. So, oh, it is the same thing as written at this as this. I just don't understand. If it stops after meeting the first condition, then why would I? So if the first condition is met, how do both get printed? I don't understand. They're not both getting printed for the same cell. What's happening is you're seeing output from multiple iterations, not multiple branches of the same if. This part is correct. If cell dataset value, the value equals this. Else, it's text contents. For each individual cell, only one branch runs. Okay, I got it, because there aren't multiple values inside cells. Okay. Cell 1, no data value, prints text content. Cell 2, no data, yeah. Okay. Okay, I got it. Osloy, thank you. You are being very patient and very kind in the chat, and I appreciate you. Roha Chan is back after an hour. Missed depends on how you feel about watching somebody else struggle through problem solving. So I'm not going to say you missed anything per se. I will let you decide if you missed anything. So, okay, I just want to be very clear about something. I know that I'm overthinking this. I don't know how to, I feel like I have to apologize for that, but I don't think I do. I don't know what to say except that sometimes my brain just cannot get past something that I don't understand. Thank God. This is why I love ChatGPT. Not because it can spit out code in a pinch if I need it, right? God knows I've done that plenty of times. But what it is also really, really good at is just explaining things, because I think we've all met more senior experienced developers who are like, I'm just going to tell you, I need a little bit of a break, so I'm going to digress for a minute. We've all met senior experienced developers who are like, hey, let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you have questions. I'm here to help anytime. And then you go ask them for help, and they are like, once you get one or two questions in, they are instantly frustrated that you don't understand. And the experience with ChatGPT is that no matter how many times I overthink something or don't understand something, it will still calmly, patiently explain it to me and break it down in a way that really helps me. And that's why I am so forever grateful. So as long as I remember to say, hey, don't just like spit out a bunch of code for me to use. I really need to understand this. It'll do it. It's the senior developer hand holder that I have never had. Because here's one of the reasons why it's so hard to ask for help. So this is a little bit of a story time. I had there was another software engineer on another team at St. Thomas who was my friend. This person was my friend. But this person would also say to me, if you need anything at all, let me know. And one day I needed help. This was pre-ChatGPT. I was in a pinch. I did not understand how to do something and I needed help. So I called this person and I was like, I need help. And he said to me, oh, do you think that meant that I would just drop everything I'm doing to help you? That's not what that meant. And I was like, whoa, asshole, what's your problem? So that said everything I needed to know about that friendship. And it also just burned into my mind oh, somebody says that they're there to help you and they're not really there to help you. So, and that was very early in my career. So to have something like ChatGPT to really break things down and explain things is pretty incredible. So for that reason, I absolutely love it. It also doesn't get upset with me if I get a little pissy, right? A little sassy back at it. It will continue to help me and continue to explain things to me. I had another thought. What was the other thought that I had? And it never gets tired of having to re-explain it to me. So, yeah. Osler says, no apologies, you're doing great. You're continuing to push through the confusion. Yes. Okay. That was really tough. That was really tough to have that person offer to help me, and then I finally asked for help, and that was the response that I get. And it says more, obviously more about him than it does about me, right? So, but it hurt my feelings, and it made me so I never want to ask for help again. And that's not a good mindset to have. So, okay. Let's get our if else in here. So, we're not printing these yet. So now let's print the value. Okay, so now I think I need to make an array from this. Oh, whoops. Does that work? No, because it turns every single thing into okay. So now I'm getting my values. So there's the value. But wasn't I already getting those from this? I don't remember. No. Okay, that was the array. Now we have the values. Got it. Okay, so now we have what was this? I don't remember. Okay. Now we're getting the value. Okay, got it. Monique is here. Welcome. I think she relates to my story. Totally relate to that. I remember those days, never again. That's when I got a larger book library and chatted with Stack Overflow. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to try this. Values array equals array from value. See, this is giving me, it's making an array out of every letter. So I don't think this is what I want. This might be a good time to, well, no, let's keep going. Let's at least figure out how to make this into a proper array. And then I think we are going to have to do a part 2 tomorrow, because we're coming up on, No, we've got a little time left. Let's keep going for another 20 minutes. We're not going to be done in 20 minutes, but let's keep going for 20 minutes. So we've got our values, our value. And we did it with one. No, we still have two loops. So we at one point had these. Oh, we had it doing the wild card. Okay. Okay, so now we do the sorting. So now I think we sort, right? But if you're sorting the rows, I don't understand this sorting. You're not, I have to keep telling myself I'm not sorting within the row. I'm sorting the rows based on the column. I don't get it. I don't get it. I get it. I don't get it. Okay. So we want to, let's try putting the rows in order. But can I sort the row? I can't. So what am I sorting? Am I sorting the values? Or am I sorting the cells? I'm sorting the values, right? Oh my God, I don't know what to do next. Okay. Let's ask for help. Oh God, I need help. Okay. I have no idea what to do next. None. Nada. Zip. I don't want you to write the code for me, but I need help. Can you? I think my rows should be in the button event listener, but I did it outside the listener first just to get it right. I think next I need to sort the values. Is that correct? Yes, that's the next step. You already did the important setup work. Identify the rows, identify the cells, identify the value you want from a given column. Now the next move is take the body rows, turn them into something sortable, sort them, then put them back into the table body. The clean order of operations is put the sorting work inside the button click. So let's do that first. So this will stay outside, but we'll take this and put it inside. The actual sort needs to happen in the button event listener because the clicked button tells you which column to use, which direction to sort. So your instinct there is right. So now we need to get the table body rows. Inside the click handler, grab the rows you want to reorder. Important detail, query selector all gives you a node list. Sorting works on arrays. So mentally, this step is get all table body rows and convert them to an array. So wait a second, did I not need to do this? Why did we just do this? Yeah. Would I have even listened if it told me not to? Probably not. Okay. 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 So we need to get the I'm fine. We need to get the table body rows. Inside the click handler, grab the rows you want to reorder. Important detail. Query selector all gives you a node list. Sorting works on arrays. So mentally, this step is get all table body, table rows, and convert them into an array. So we need to use query selector all to get the node list. So we're going to say const tr rows. I feel like we've been here before. Row, query selector all, row children. Is that still correct? See, this is what I don't understand. Query selector all what? I'm back to my first problem. Query selector all what? Or is it just the TRs? Well, this is it right here. So this gives us the node list. Console log rows. Node list. Okay, so that's the first thing, actually. That's the only thing you can query selector all, because everything else... Okay, should I just take this and put it inside? I guess. Okay. So that's our node list. Okay, let's just keep going here. So mentally, this step is get all table body TR and convert them into an array. So is that array from? Rows? Gotta click the effing button to see. Okay, so there's our array of rows. Okay. So can I just say array from rows? Okay, so there's our array from rows. Got it. Let's keep going. Figure out which column was clicked. You already set up data column, so this gives you the column index. That index is what lets you do for each row get row children column index. Okay, so then we would do you know what I think I also don't understand? I guess I thought query selector, okay, so query selector all will give you a node list. What is the difference between, because can't you query selector, okay, just don't ask too many questions. This is the problem. This is what's getting me into trouble. I'm asking too many questions. Figure out which column was clicked. You already set up data column, so this gives you the column index. That index, well, this is in my markup. So I just need to get the index because we're going to compare it. So for each row, get the row children column index. What do you mean I already set up data column? What do you mean? It's in my markup. It's in my markup. I didn't really set up anything. I didn't really set up anything. Fair, you didn't set it up in JavaScript, but you did design your markup to give you that info, which is exactly what matters. That data column is doing work for you whether you realize it or not. What you already have in your HTML, that means when the button is clicked, I represent column index column 2. What I meant, this gives you the column index. When I said this gives you the column index, I meant inside your click handler, you can read that value from the button. The missing connection. When a button is clicked, you have access to the element. From there, column index, event current target dataset column. Okay. What if I'm looping through buttons? Why do I need event delegation? You don't need event delegation. Looping through the buttons and attaching a click handler to each one is completely valid for this case. So really I'm just clicking on the button and getting the data set and calling it column index. Okay. So const column index equals the button data set data set, and what is it? I think it's just ID column, data column. Whoops. Button dataset column. Okay. And then going back up, going back. This is the other thing that this is one thing that I don't like about ChatGPT is it'll give me a bunch of instructions. It'll tell me a bunch of things to do. And it tells me like 10 things to do, except that most of the time I never get past 1 or 2. I wish it would just give me like a couple things to do at a time. Okay. So now we have set up column index. For each row, get row children column index. Now we do for each. So now it's rows for each row. I'm just going to say, so can I console log row children column index? Isn't this supposed to be a number? I'm not sure. I have no idea. That, oh, it just gets me. Oh, okay, hang on. So we're getting all the rows there. Now I'm just getting the row. So if I click on stock, okay. And then if I click on product name, now I'm getting that. If I click on category, now I'm getting that. Okay. Okay. So now when we click, but this is why I don't understand, because to me, I just got a column. But I guess I got rows. That's what those are. Those are rows. This is why I don't this is why I'm having so much trouble. Well, this is one of many reasons why I'm having so much trouble with this. When I click category, I feel like I'm getting a column of data. But really, I'm getting everything in this column from the row, right? Yeah, I guess. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, now we compare two rows at a time. Okay, now we compare two rows at a time. This is the heart of it. When sorting, JavaScript will basically ask you between row A and row B which should come first. For each pair of rows, get the cell in the clicked column from row A, get the cell in the clicked column from row B. Well, I only clicked one column at a time. Extract the values and compare them. So yes, this is the sort the values part, but more precisely, sort the rows by comparing the values from the selected column. Okay. So you know what? I think that this is the perfect time to quit for today and continue tomorrow. What do we think? Wow. If I didn't need to go do the thing that I need to do, and for people who weren't here at the very beginning, I talked about what it is that I'm doing here in about the next 30 minutes, which is that I had an idea for an app, very simple. It's like a little counter app, and I'll tell you more about it tomorrow after I figure out what's going to happen today. And I had a domain name that I wanted for this app, for this fun little simple counting thing that I want to do. The domain name that I want was taken, but I did a little digging, I did a little research. And if you don't know this, when you buy a domain name and then don't renew it, so you just stop paying for it and it expires, it isn't immediately available. It goes through several phases where the original owner has the chance to, is given several opportunities to reclaim that domain name and pay for it and keep it. But if they don't, it goes through these several phases. And when I did a little digging, it turned out that it was in a pending deletion state, phase, whatever, and that it was going to be available in 5 days to purchase by somebody new. This was last week. And that's at 12:40 today, my time, in about like 37 minutes. So that's what I'm doing today. That's why I started early. That's why I wanted to make sure that I was done on time. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. If I don't get it, if for some reason somebody else is quicker than me, or it gets snatched up by like a domain broker or whatever, so be it. I will go with the hyphenated version of the domain, but I'm going to try really hard to get it today at 12:40 when it comes back on the market. So wish me luck. I'll let you know tomorrow what happens. I think this is the perfect time to stop. I roughly have an idea of what's going on here. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this one, because I feel like these exercises, these projects have actually gone pretty well over the last 2 weeks. But hey, we were bound to have we were due for a big old struggle session, and that's what this is. But we're getting there. And I do feel frustrated, so I think it would be good to just stop and come back and pick this up again tomorrow. I'm going to do a little shuffling around of some of the things that we're going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. And I think it is perfectly acceptable to spend more than a day working on something that's complex. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Osloy, you were very restrained. Give yourself a pat on the back. I definitely appreciate you. Go Elmo was here. Monique Robinson was here. They were our mods in the chat. Nano Akia, thank you so much for being here. Roha Chan, appreciate you all so much. Clash of Clans Legend was here. Hello. Happy to have you, of course. Did I miss anybody? I'm checking to see. I don't think so. Okay. That's it. Everybody, wish me luck. Say a little prayer for me if you do that type of thing. Send some good vibes out into the universe in about 36 minutes. wish me luck. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Also, I will tell you about my fun little thing that I'm doing, which I already started building, but I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are. I love you all so much, and I will see you tomorrow.